If you're in your 70s or 80s and can still do these 8 things, you're not just lucky, you're a rare gem, and science backs it up. As a doctor who spent decades working with older adults, I've seen something remarkable. Some people age like fine wine. They stay sharp, strong, and full of life, while others decline quickly, often feeling tired, dependent, and forgotten. What makes the difference? It's not about expensive supplements or miracle treatments. It's about small daily habits and mindset shifts that create a massive impact over time. In this video, we're diving into 8 powerful signs that you are not just surviving your later years, you're thriving. These aren't just feel-good ideas. They're rooted in real geriatric science and human stories. For example, studies from the National Institute on Aging show that seniors who remain physically independent, emotionally connected, and mentally engaged tend to live longer with far fewer chronic conditions. And yet, so many people ignore these simple truths until it's too late. So let me ask you, can you still prepare your own meals? Keep your home tidy? Remember names, manage money, or learn new technology? These may seem ordinary, but they're extraordinary indicators of something much deeper: vitality, resilience, and self-worth. If you can still do them, you're ahead of the curve, and you're giving your children the greatest gift of all: peace of mind. Stay with me, because what I'm about to share may just change the way you look at aging forever. Number 1. Maintaining physical and mental independence. Picture Mary, a 76-year-old retired librarian who still wakes up before sunrise to water her garden, brew her favorite tea, and sweep her porch while humming her husband's favorite tune. She doesn't do these things out of necessity. She does them because they remind her that she's still in charge of her life. That quiet cup of tea and the rhythm of daily tasks aren't just routines, they're acts of freedom. Independence in our later years isn't just about staying on our feet. It's about staying in control. When you can prepare your meals, handle your personal hygiene, keep your home in order, and make clear decisions, you're not just getting through the day, you're living with intention. According to research from the National Institutes of Health, seniors who maintain independence in daily activities are less likely to suffer from depression and are more likely to report a higher quality of life. But this kind of independence doesn't happen by accident. It takes care, consistency, and a mindset that says, "I've still got this." And it's not just physical. Mental independence matters too. Remembering your appointments, managing your finances, choosing your meals. These things may seem small, but they add up to a life lived with confidence and pride. So when you can still tie your own shoes, remember your grandchild's birthday, or choose what to eat for dinner without asking for help, know this: you're not just maintaining independence. You're preserving something far more powerful: your sense of self. Number 2, staying emotionally positive. Let me tell you about George. He's 82, lives alone since his wife passed, and yet every neighbor will tell you, George never forgets to smile. Rain or shine, he waves to the mailman, cracks jokes with the cashier, and starts every morning writing down 3 things he's grateful for. His secret isn't good luck or an easy life. It's choosing joy again and again. As we age, life brings changes that aren't always easy: loss, illness, and moments of loneliness. But here's the powerful truth: your emotional outlook has a direct impact on your physical health. Research from the Mayo Clinic shows that seniors with a positive attitude experience lower levels of inflammation, better heart health, and even longer lifespans. Your mood is more than a feeling. It's medicine. Staying emotionally positive doesn't mean pretending everything is perfect. It means facing life's challenges with hope, letting go of bitterness, and finding meaning in the everyday. It's laughing at a joke, even if you've heard it 10 times. It's forgiving someone, not for their sake, but for yours. And it's recognizing that your presence, your warmth, and your wisdom still matter deeply to the people around you. When you choose peace over resentment, gratitude over complaint, and hope over fear, You're giving yourself the gift of lightness. And that lightness is what helps carry you through the hard days and lift up those around you. In the end, a joyful heart really can keep the body young. And just like George, you don't have to wait for everything to be perfect. You just have to decide to look for the good every single day. Number 3. Avoiding scams and staying mentally sharp. Let me introduce you to Evelyn. She's 79 and sharp as a tack. Not long ago, her phone rang. Someone claiming to be from her bank urgently needed her account details. Instead of panicking, Evelyn paused, took a breath, and calmly replied, "Thanks, but I'll call my bank myself." Later, she found out it was indeed a scammer who had tricked several others in her community. What made Evelyn different? Her clear, alert mind and awareness kept her safe. Sadly, scammers often target seniors, assuming they're vulnerable or easily confused. According to a recent report by the Federal Trade Commission, adults over 60 lost more than $1 billion to fraud last year alone. The best protection against becoming a victim is a sharp, clear mind, one that questions unexpected calls, suspicious offers, and too-good-to-be-true promises. Maintaining mental sharpness doesn't require genius-level intellect. It simply means staying curious, alert, and informed. Read the newspaper, solve puzzles, or chat regularly with friends about current events. Keep asking questions. Keep your mind active. Mental fitness, just like physical fitness, can be strengthened with daily habits. When you stay mentally alert, you're protecting more than your finances. You're safeguarding your dignity, independence, and peace of mind. Like Evelyn, you can enjoy the comfort of knowing you're in control. Remember, your greatest defense is the one inside your own head. Keep it sharp, and you'll stay confidently ahead of any threat. Number 4. Achieving financial independence. Imagine Thomas, a 74-year-old widower who still lives in the cozy house he built with his wife decades ago. He doesn't drive a luxury car or eat out every night, but he has something far more valuable: peace of mind. He pays his own bills, manages his savings, and never has to ask his children for money. Not because he's stubborn, but because he knows that financial freedom gives him dignity. Financial independence in your later years isn't about being rich. It's about not being a burden. When you can cover your basic needs, make thoughtful choices, and support yourself without leaning on your kids, you're preserving not only your pride, but also your family's harmony. According to AARP, seniors who feel financially secure report higher levels of emotional well-being and lower stress, even when their income is modest. This independence protects relationships too. When parents can care for themselves, their children are free to focus on their own families, careers, and futures. The result? Less guilt, fewer conflicts, and more time spent simply enjoying each other's company. Saving a little, budgeting wisely, and planning ahead are not just practical steps. They're acts of self-respect. Whether it's a small pension, a paid-off home, or just knowing how to stretch a dollar, these tools help you stay in control of your life. So ask yourself, are you living on your own terms or someone else's? Because when you hold the keys to your own finances, you also hold the keys to freedom, stability, and a legacy of strength for those you love. Number 5. Communicating with empathy and adaptability. Let me tell you about Dolores. She's 81, sharp-witted, and adored by her grandchildren, not because she spoils them with gifts, but because she listens. When her teenage grandson started talking about video games and social media trends she didn't understand, she didn't tune out or lecture him about how things used to be. Instead, she leaned in, asked questions, and laughed along, even if she didn't quite get it. That small act built a bridge between generations. Communication in old age isn't just about speaking, it's about connecting. And connection happens when we lead with empathy, not ego, when we try to understand instead of trying to control. Studies from the American Psychological Association show that older adults who practice empathetic communication experience stronger family bonds and lower rates of loneliness. It's easy to fall into the trap of complaining or reminiscing too much about the past. But younger generations live in a different world. They don't need lectures. They need encouragement. They need someone who listens without judgment and shares wisdom gently, not forcefully. When you adapt your communication style, when you shift from "back in my day" to "tell me more about your day," you open the door to meaningful relationships. Being emotionally available and supportive, especially during stressful times, can make you the anchor your family didn't know they needed. So whether it's your son dealing with job pressure or your granddaughter figuring out who she is, your words can be a source of strength or a wall. Choose empathy. Be curious, because the way we speak to our loved ones shapes how close they'll want to stay. And the more they feel heard, the more they'll want to hear from you. Number 6, valuing long-term relationships. Picture Helen and Robert married for 54 years. Every morning, Robert still butters her toast just the way she likes it, crust off, light golden brown. They don't say much over breakfast anymore, but they don't need to. Their silence is full of history. Birthdays, arguments, laughter, hospital visits, and quiet Sunday afternoons. It's not just love. It's life, shared, built, survived together. There's a unique strength that comes from decades spent side by side. Research from Harvard's study of adult development, a nearly 80-year-long project, reveals that the happiest and healthiest people in old age were those with strong, lasting relationships. These bonds act like emotional anchors, keeping us steady when everything else changes. Sure, companionship later in life can bring comfort. Many people find love again after loss. But relationships built over decades carry a depth that time alone can create. They're not just about routine. They're about resilience. The comfort of knowing someone has seen every version of you and still chooses to stay. Of course, no long relationship is perfect. There are sacrifices, compromises, even moments of deep pain. But there's also growth, forgiveness, and a quiet understanding that newer partnerships may never fully replicate. The joy isn't just in romance. It's in knowing you've built something no one else could. So if you've shared a life with someone for many years, cherish it. Protect it. Because while late-life relationships can offer support, only lifelong ones carry the kind of history that turns ordinary moments into treasures. And in the end, it's not how long you've loved. It's how deeply that love has lived in both of you. Number 7, lifelong learning and embracing technology. Meet Walter. He's 83, lives in a quiet neighborhood, and just last month he learned how to order groceries online, by himself. He used to think smartphones were just for the young. But when his daughter showed him how to use one, something clicked. Now, he checks the weather, pays his bills, and even video chats with his grandson in another state. Every time he masters a new skill, his eyes light up with the joy of discovery. Lifelong learning isn't about going back to school or reading thick textbooks. It's about staying curious, asking questions, trying something new, and refusing to let age be a barrier. According to a study published in Psychological Science, seniors who engage in continuous learning show improved memory and higher problem-solving skills. The brain, just like the body, thrives on activity. Embracing technology can feel overwhelming at first, but think of it as another tool to help you stay independent. From using health apps to track medications, to joining a virtual book club or learning a new recipe on YouTube, technology opens doors to connection, convenience, and growth. It's not about keeping up, it's about keeping engaged. The world is changing fast, and the truth is, you don't have to master everything. Just stay open. Because when you choose to learn, you're telling yourself, and everyone around you, that your story isn't finished. You still have pages to write, things to explore, and new chapters to live. And that spirit? It's what keeps you young, no matter what the calendar says. Number 8. Pursuing hobbies and staying playful. Let me tell you about Clara. She's 77, and every Thursday afternoon, you'll find her in the community center, surrounded by paints, brushes, and a dozen bright canvases. She didn't pick up a paintbrush until after retirement. Now, her small apartment is filled with sunflowers, seascapes, and bold colors that reflect her spirit. She says painting didn't just fill her walls, it filled the emptiness that crept in after her husband passed. Hobbies aren't just ways to pass time, they're lifelines. When we engage in activities we truly enjoy, we reconnect with ourselves. Research from the Journal of Aging and Health confirms that seniors who regularly engage in hobbies show improved cognitive function, better emotional well-being, and even reduced risk of chronic illness. The joy of doing something meaningful, even something simple, can be a powerful antidote to loneliness and decline. But it's not just about painting or gardening. Maybe it's fishing, baking, writing poetry, playing music, or even solving puzzles. The key is staying playful, not serious, keeping a light heart, laughing more, and making room for curiosity. Some of the most vibrant people in their 80s are the ones who never stopped playing. So whether you join a local class or start a new project from your kitchen table, give yourself permission to create, explore, and just have fun. Because when your hands are busy and your heart is light, time becomes a friend again, and life feels full, even in its quietest seasons. If you've made it this far, let me say this: you are already on the right path. By simply being curious, by choosing to learn and reflect, you're proving that age is not a limitation, but an opportunity. Aging well isn't about chasing youth, it's about embracing wisdom, making meaningful choices, and staying connected to what makes life rich. Today, we explored 8 powerful signs that you're not just growing older, you're thriving. From staying independent and emotionally strong to protecting your mind, your finances, and your relationships, these habits form the foundation of a fulfilling life after 70. And here's the truth: you don't have to be perfect. You just have to keep moving forward, one mindful step at a time. Remember, it's never too late to try something new, to pick up a forgotten hobby, or to become the source of light in your family. Your presence, your story, your wisdom, it matters. And the way you care for your body, your mind, and your heart today will shape the years to come. So take a deep breath, hold your head high, and celebrate the fact that you are still growing, still giving, and still shining. If this video inspired you, share your thoughts in the comments. What's one thing you're going to do differently starting today? And if you found value here, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a message made just for you. Because this journey is far from over, and your best years may be just ahead.